have decided to take the time today, sit down with all of you, and discuss why mediocre, terrible, bad, gross, annoying, ugly, shitty artists are all successful on YouTube.
Hello everybody, my name is Wichit and I aspire to be the most generic art YouTuber. But if I'm the most generic art YouTuber, what does that say about my comrades? My fellow art occultists? Well, maybe they're not part of my art occult, but they're definitely part of the art community. That's kind of like a cult. Hey! Put down the teapot, Patricia! We're not disturbing the tea today! No! We're here to discuss the apparent 10K theory, as well as adding on to the beautiful Shannon's why mediocre artists are so popular. Now, I have already discussed a theory before on this channel about why many people only draw women. But today, this is not about the subjects that we are drawing. No. This is about the marketing that is happening. What is the secret sauce to the 10K theory? Many people in the art community know because, besides the fact that we're such a tiny community, so it's easier to see everything going on. It takes one video for you to go viral. Now, a commenter of mine, I will show on screen, discussed a formula. If you follow these simple instructions, you will have instant 10K material. Now, this was a very interesting fact because if you haven't noticed, all of those subjects tend to really, in YouTube's terms, blow up. The algorithm loves to share this type of storytime content, especially art storytimes. Now, could this be YouTube using illustrators to piggyback off the animators? Those storytime animators. Now, obviously, they are much bigger than us poor illustrators. Despite us being able to make content faster, theoretically, because animation takes a very long and hard time, and illustration takes a lot less time. But us illustrators, oh boy, we may be small in our community because we're the art community. We're not the animation community, but we're the art community. We will see the 10K overnight. Now, if you haven't been in our community for very long, you might not know any of these names, but trust me, they are very quick, very fast, and pretty much they grew overnight. We're talking about Starry Heaven, Rad Packs, Creepshow Art, Twisted Disaster, and I think even Emily Artful, because Emily Artful, her top videos are normally her sketchbook story times, so I'm just gonna group her in with the storytime YouTubers. But however, these people all have had exponential growth in such a small period of time without having a large following already. I mean, Shannon, off the top of my head, I already know this, because I love Shannon and Shannon's my mom! But Shannon had about 45 subscribers, and then her video about Tumblr went cuckoo bananas viral, and voila, she gained her first 10K, 9K subs. And I happened to be part of one of those people that joined on the bandwagon at that time. I knew Shannon at 1K, everybody! I didn't talk to her, but I knew about her channel! Get off my level, I'm a superior viewer of Shannon's content. I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter what time you joined in as long as you join in, because content's great. I love YouTube. It's better than TV. But moving on, what is this phenomenon? Now, YouTube doesn't necessarily look at the content, it looks at it as a whole. Remember, it's an algorithm, it only sees ones and zeros. But there are some very basic guidelines that the algorithm follows. Now, these two are pretty straightforward. Make your video 10 minutes so that you keep viewer retention. Also, viewer retention is also very good. Just keeping viewer retention on your video. The longer people watch your video, the more people YouTube will recommend it to. In addition to staying within the guidelines. So keep the swearing out of it. Don't have copyrighted content. Don't get your video flagged. Whatever. The basics of the basic. But if there's only 2 rules, why are all these Storytime videos blowing up? Because people talking holds people's attention and they're telling an interesting story. Hopefully.
Not all of us can be as exaggerated as myself.
I am not that narcissistic, please. I am not that narcissistic. Oh my god.
Which is also why Shannon brings this up in her video.
Why mediocre artists only survive on YouTube. It wasn't called that, but that's just a more dramatic title. But if I'm correct, Shannon brings up the point of, well, if your video is just music over a speed paint, it's not gonna do so well. And that's true, it doesn't, because music can only hold people's attention for so long. That's why those type of videos should be kept to 2 minutes, so that it's just a very quick process video, 5 minutes at max. Do not try to stretch it to 10 minutes. I made that mistake in my first video, the Lavender Town video. It's probably in like the popular videos. It was bad. There's so much dead silence that people are bound to skip that part. That is why keeping voiceovers in videos just helps videos to, progressively do better. And then for guidelines, most of us stay in the guidelines because I don't think we're breaking any guidelines as long as we're not drawing any nudity, overly swearing. Looking at you, Shannon! In general, just keeping it as family friendly as we all love to joke about. Now, these are the only standardized rules. However, a little birdie once told me that the YouTube algorithm sees something doing very well and likes to promote more videos. Oh, you like this Storytime YouTuber? Here's another one! Here's another one! And they just chuck them at you like cannonballs. Oh, check this out! It's in your suggestion box! Hurrah! Like that. YouTube's quite violent, if you must know about suggesting stuff. Some videos will stick in your recommended bar for weeks if you don't click on them. Like, seriously, YouTube, I don't want to watch that Super Nanny episode. Can you please stop recommending it to me? But because there is a mass production of art story times, and they do predominantly well, that's why we're seeing this massive spurt of growth in many art channels who do mainly story times over like digital or traditional speed paints. Now, this doesn't work for everybody. It hasn't worked for me, I'm living proof of that. But I don't really care about that. But as a
Sciencey person who really likes research, if you haven't been able to tell,
there must be some merit to this. There's gotta be some explanation. There has to be something, right? And I have discovered the conclusive, guaranteed message behind it all. And in fact, I don't even have to tell it to you. I only have to describe it after this speech. Hey! Lazy content mode activated.
And yet they were misvalued because the wider world was blind to their luck. So I think you have to ask, if a professional athlete paid millions of dollars a year can be misvalued, who can't be? If the supposedly pure meritocracy of professional sports can't distinguish between lucky and good, who can? The Moneyball story has practical implications. If you use better data, you can find better values, and there are always market inefficiencies to exploit and so on. But to me, it has a broader and less practical message. Don't be deceived by life's outcomes. Life's outcomes, while not entirely random, have a huge amount of luck baked into them. Above all, recognize that if you had success, you've also had luck. And with luck comes obligation. You owe a debt, and not just to your gods. You owe a debt to the unlucky. I make this point because, along with this speech, it's something that you're very likely to forget. 2 years ago, just a few blocks from my home, a pair of researchers in the Cal Psychology Department staged an experiment. They began by grabbing students like you, to use them as lab rats. Then they broke the students into teams, segregated by sex, 3 men or 3 women on a team. They then put these teams of 3 into a room and arbitrarily assigned one member of the team to be the leader. Then they gave them some complicated moral problem to solve, say what should be done about academic cheating or how to regulate drinking on campus. Exactly 30 minutes into the problem solving, the researchers interrupted each group. They entered the room bearing a plate of cookies, 4 cookies. The team consisted of 3 people, and there were these 4 cookies. Every team member obviously got 1 cookie, but that left a 4th cookie just sitting there. It should have been awkward, but it wasn't. With incredible consistency, the person arbitrarily appointed leader of the group grabbed the 4th cookie and ate it. Not only ate it, but ate it with gusto, lips smacking, mouth open, drool pooling at the corners of their mouths. In the end, all that was left of the extra cookie were the crumbs on the leader's shirt. So this leader had performed no special task. He had no special virtue. He'd been chosen at random 30 minutes earlier. His status was nothing but luck. But it left him with a sense that this cookie, this 4th cookie, should be his. So this experiment helps to explain Wall Street bonuses, CEO pay, I'm sure lots of other human behavior. This is how people behave when they're blind to their own luck. You are the lucky few. Lucky in your parents, lucky in your country, lucky that a place like Princeton exists that could take in lucky people, introduce them to other lucky people, and increase their chances of becoming even luckier. Lucky that you live in the richest society the world has ever seen, in a time when no one actually expects you to sacrifice your interest to anything. All of you have been faced with the extra cookie. All of you will be faced with many more of them. In time, you'll find it easy to assume that you deserve the extra cookie. For all I know, you may deserve the extra cookie. But you will be happier, and you will be better off if you at least pretend that you don't.
Hey, welcome back. Did you miss those 3 minutes without me? I bet you sure did. Well, I'm here to inform you that I own no malice against any of these art YouTubers. I own no malice against nobody. Cry! I try to interact with other artists during streams, and you know what? I get shut down because I can't spell. I'm sorry.
I'm like, okay.
This is a CSP stream I've seen with someone using the light white setting.
What?
Don't understand. Sorry, Wichit. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I mean, how Clip Studio Art Paint is set up. Everyone normally uses the dark setting.
Oh, fuck dark settings. I like Twitter, Discord, fuck dark settings. They're the worst.
She doesn't like dark settings, and she likes light settings. We are bright here, guys.
We're bright. If I have the option between black and white with something, I'm gonna choose white.
Wow.
Not stop.
She's just a very bright person.
Man, I hope nobody clips that out.
Don't clip it. Yeah, don't clip that stream. No, but she's just very optimistic, a very light person.
Nothing at all. I do not hate any art YouTuber at all. I do not discriminate. I will be friends with anybody, and I hope anyone would be willing to be friends with me. So as non-confirmed friends, I hope we can all have mutual respect for each other, and I have mutual respect for everyone else. Is that out of the way? Yes. So, in this speech, the main topic, by the way, this is a speech from Princeton University. I will link the full speech below because it's actually really good. But the main subject is about luck. So with this in mind, and why Shannon explains why mediocre artists prevail, you do not need to have incredibly strong art. You don't need to have incredibly strong editing skills. Heck, you don't even have to have the most exuberant personality or even a personality at all. As long as you start and put the tiniest bit of effort in, that gets the ball rolling, and you're immediately entered into the lottery of luck. Now with YouTube, because every video on the platform is technically fair game to go viral, it's literally a lottery. Now to those who have succeeded into the lottery, this speech also contains a PSA. Now this is why we have leaders in the art community, people with such big followers and subscribers due to luck, because whether or not, it's all luck-based. YouTube is all luck-based. Everything in life can be summed up to luck with some hard work put behind it. And with that luck, my fellow art superiors, please remember you are in debt to the unlucky for putting you on this pedestal. And while you are upon this pedestal, please remember, don't brag about taking the 4th cookie, because thou who shall brag about thy cookie shall have all of their merits removed. Now what does that fancy terminology mean if you don't get it? It means you lose your respect and your dignity and all of your authority in your community. So as Gucci X Supreme, art occult leader of the art occult, thank you for joining my TED Talk. And to those in power, not all of us are.
Hey, irrelevant.